One of the things that I have noticed about shows that have benefited from your talents is that one of the hallmarks of them seems to be strong, complicated women characters, which I love that.
Thank you.
Which we see them on Power. Has that been one of the goals in your work?
Well, I would say yes, absolutely. I think that there aren't as many women writing TV as there might be. And when I have had the opportunity in my past and here on Power to push the idea that women are complicated, push the idea that women can be strong and still make mistakes, can be just as compelling as male characters, and that female protagonists don't mean that only females will watch the show.
Right.
I think that anytime I've had those opportunities, absolutely, I've pushed for them.
When I said that they're strong, what you said also is that they can make mistakes. What I appreciate about the women in your shows is that they're, especially watching women of color, is that they're not one-dimensional. You know, they can make mistakes. They're not cheerleaders. They have, if I could say it, brass ovaries.
I like that. I like that. I would say that we've had a kind of a shift in how women of color can be portrayed on TV, and I think Scandal is a good example of that. Grey's Anatomy, a good example of that. But it's been happening all over the place, slowly but surely. What I like to do is say, I want my characters, all of them, whether they're of color or not, to be as complicated as any other character on TV. And so I push for that, and that means they have to make mistakes. It means Tasha can't be emblematic of every black woman.
Exactly.
She can't be Claire Huxtable. Sorry.
Sorry, but that's just the way it is.
But and also times have changed. We needed Claire Huxtable then. We don't need her now.
Right. And what you said about Tasha is weird because I can watch the show and think, wow, I can see some of the women in my family in that character. I can see myself in that character. I mean, that's the way everybody on the show is, where you get to the humanity of them, and that's what you connect to. The diversity, when the Oscar nominations came out last year, and when the Oscars were awarded this year, diversity was the big issue in entertainment news. It seems that the embrace of diversity, like TV is really getting it, especially Starz. Is that something that appealed to you in doing business with Starz?
Well, it's an interesting thing when diversity comes up.
Yes.
The one thing that has still not changed as much is the people who say yes. So what we're seeing is some more people of color on TV and maybe a few more people in my chair. Or in 50's chair as an EP, but not. But the changes up in the executive branches have not changed as much. And so what you still need are people, like Chris Albrecht, who I work for, who are enlightened, who don't care as much about having the person behind the scenes look like him. So I think that sometimes we're talking about what is the movement, but it's also about the people who say yes and put the money behind it and support the content.
Good point. Women directors, has Power had any women directors yet?
We have, actually. We've had several. In season 1, we had Kari Skogland, and then in season 2, Denny Gordon, who was amazing and fantastic. And it's great. Sometimes we had a one day where I was on set where the showrunner and the director and the first AD were all women, and it's like this really great thing that I'm able to do when I have the opportunities to bring more women into positions of respect on sets. It's great.
And with the good shows such as you put on TV, you're going to be bringing more people into the audience. It is a pleasure and an honor to watch the show. It makes me proud. It entertains me.
Oh, I'm so glad. Thank you so much.
Thank you for your time.
Thanks.
All right.
It is such an honor to meet you.